Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 139 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation, where we use female words. This would be May 19th if you're starting at the new year. The bridge to the real world. The search for the special relationship is the sign that you equate yourself with the ego and not with God, for the special relationship has value only to the ego. To the ego, unless a relationship has special value, it has no meaning, for it perceives all love as special. Yet this cannot be natural, for it is unlike the relationship of God and her child, and all relationships that are unlike this one must be unnatural. For God created love as she would have it be, and gave it as it is. Love has no meaning except as its creator defined it by her will. It is impossible to define it otherwise and understand it. Love is freedom. To look for it by placing yourself in bondage is to separate yourself from it. For the love of God no longer seek for union in separation, nor for freedom in bondage. As you release, so will you be released. Forget this not, or love will be unable to find you and comfort you. There is a way in which the Holy Spirit asks your help if you would have hers. The Holy Instant is her most helpful aid in protecting you from the attraction of guilt, the real lure in the special relationship. You do not recognize that this is its real appeal, for the ego has taught you that freedom lies in it. Yet the closer you look at the special relationship, the more apparent it becomes that it must foster guilt and therefore must imprison. The special relationship is totally meaningless without a body. If you value it, you must also value the body. And what you value, you will keep. The special relationship is a device for limiting yourself to a body and for limiting your perception of others to theirs. The great rays would establish the total lack of value of the special relationship if they were seen, for in seeing them the body would disappear, because its value would be lost, and so your whole investment in seeing it would be withdrawn from it. You see the world you value. On this side of the bridge, you see the world of separate bodies, seeking to join each other in separate unions, and to become one by losing. When two individuals seek to become one, they are trying to decrease their magnitude. Each would deny her power, for the separate union excludes the universe. Far more is left outside than would be taken in, for God is left without and nothing taken in. If one such union were made in perfect faith, the universe would enter into it. Yet the special relationship the ego seeks does not include even one whole individual. The ego wants but part of her and sees only this part and nothing else. Across the bridge it is so different. For a time the body is still seen, but not exclusively, as it is seen here. The little spark that holds the great rays within it is also visible, and this spark cannot be limited long to littleness. Once you have crossed the bridge, the value of the body is so diminished in your sight that you will see no need at all to magnify it. For you will realize that the only value the body has is to enable you to bring your sisters to the bridge with you and to be released together there. The bridge itself is nothing more than a transition in the perspective of reality. On this side, everything you see is grossly distorted and completely out of perspective. What is little and insignificant is magnified, and what is strong and powerful cut down to littleness. In the transition, there is a period of confusion in which a sense of actual disorientation may occur. But fear it not. For it means only that you have been willing to let go your hold on the distorted frame of reference that seemed to hold your world together. This frame of reference is built around the special relationship. Without this illusion, there could be no meaning you would still seek here. Fear not that you will be abruptly lifted up and hurled into reality. Time is kind. And if you use it on behalf of reality, it will keep gentle pace with you in your transition. The urgency is only in dislodging your mind from its fixed position here. This will not leave you homeless and without a frame of reference. The period of disorientation which precedes the actual transition is far shorter than the time it took to fix your mind so firmly on illusions. Delay will hurt you now more than before, only because you realize it is delay and that escape from pain is really possible. Find hope and comfort rather than despair in this. You could not long find even the illusion of love in any special relationship here, for you are no longer wholly insane, and you would soon recognize the guilt of self-betrayal for what it is. Nothing you seek to strengthen in this special relationship is really part of you, and you cannot keep part of the thought system that taught you it was real and understand the thought that knows what you are. You have allowed the thought of your reality to enter your mind, and because you invited it, it will abide with you. Your love for it will not allow you to betray yourself, and you could not enter into a relationship where it could not go with you, for you would not want to be apart from it. Be glad you have escaped the mockery of salvation the ego offered you, and look not back with longing on the travesty it made of your relationships. Now no one need suffer, for you have come too far to yield to the illusion of the beauty and holiness of guilt. Only the wholly insane could look on death and suffering, sickness and despair, and see it thus. What guilt has wrought is ugly, fearful, and very dangerous. See no illusion of truth and beauty there, and be you thankful that there is a place where truth and beauty wait for you. Go on to meet them gladly and learn how much awaits you for the simple willingness to give up nothing, because it is nothing. The new perspective you will gain from crossing over will be the understanding of where heaven is. From this side, it seems to be outside and across the bridge. Yet as you cross to join it, it will join with you and become one with you. And you will think in glad astonishment that for all this you gave up nothing. The joy of heaven, which has no limit, is increased with each light that returns to take its rightful place within it. Wait no longer for the love of God and you. And may the holy instant speed you on your way, as it will surely do, if you but let it come to you. The Holy Spirit asks only this little help of you. Whenever your thoughts wander to a special relationship which still attracts you, enter with her into a holy instant, and there let her release you. She needs only your willingness to share her perspective, to give it to you completely. And your willingness need not be complete because hers is perfect. It is her task to atone for your unwillingness by her perfect faith, and it is her faith you share with her there. Out of your recognition of your unwillingness for your release, her perfect willingness is given you. Call upon her, for heaven is at her call, and let her call on heaven for you. Oh, and once again, we have reference to the great rays in contrast to the body that we have so long thought of as being what we and others are. The great rays being so much more grand, as well as the divine spark that holds the great rays, and that is what we truly are. We also have this interesting part that says, "Fear not that you will be hurled into reality. Time is gentle and will keep pace with you." I keep coming back to how often A Course in Miracles uses the word gentle, and remind myself that love is kind. The path forward towards heaven can be a gentle and kind one. I remind myself of this, that any tribulation on the path is something that I put there. It comes from my own resistance, and it does not have to be there. Here again we have the Holy Spirit as the arbiter of the atonement. It says her task is to atone for our unwillingness by her perfect faith. She makes up for any lack in us whatsoever, so we don't need to worry about any imperfection in our performance of what is being asked of us. The lesson goes on to talk more about what atonement is and has an interesting perspective on it. It presents atonement as us learning or remembering, rather than learning, who we really are. Lesson 139. I will accept atonement for myself. Here is the end of choice, for here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail the single simple question, what am I? Yet who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize herself? Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast its magnitude can hardly be conceived. To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself, and what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is it she doubts? Whom does she question? Who can answer her? She merely states that she is not herself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yet she could never be alive at all unless she knew the answer. If she asks as if she does not know, it merely shows she does not want to be the thing she is. She has accepted it because she lives, has judged against it and denied its worth, and has decided that she does not know the only certainty by which she lives. Thus she becomes uncertain of her life, for what it is has been denied by her. It is for this denial that you need atonement. Your denial made no change in what you are, but you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. You are yourself. There is no doubt of this, and yet you doubt it, but you do not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness, yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. And they will come again until the time of atonement is accepted and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not be aware of what you are. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show that you believe the contradiction that you know not what you cannot fail to know. Is this a question or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. We have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. Fail not your sisters or fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, that they are part of you, and you of them. This does atonement teach, and demonstrates the oneness of God's child is unassailed by her belief. She knows not what she is. Today accept atonement. not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. 5 minutes in the morning and at night we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when she created us like her. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one. And in our memory is the recall how dear our sisters are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our mother's love contains them all. In thanks for all creation, in the name of its creator and her oneness with all aspects of creation, we repeat our dedication to our case today, each hour, as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. For several minutes let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the holy child of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness, as you say, I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. I love how it describes the chains that seem to bind us as being as frail and insubstantial as cobwebs. I love also that it is describing the conundrum of not knowing what we are as being nonsensical in a similar fashion to saying, this statement is false. The sort of statement that in stories you put into a logic machine and it just breaks the machine. You picture smoke coming out of it as it tries to process this statement that's not processable. And reincarnation is hinted at here. It says the world is a place where we come to question what we are. It says that we're just going to keep coming back until we accept the atonement. And according to this lesson, the atonement is accepting that we do know what we are. I find this a refreshingly new and different perspective on what atonement is. It's not about fixing the poor wretched sinner. Well, in a way, I suppose it is. It's about fixing that you ever thought that's what you were. It's about letting that go completely and embracing something beautiful, pure, and glorious, not because you're not worthy of it, but because you always were. A Course in Miracles also reminds us that every individual here in the world is mad, the world is mad, and the ego is a stark, raving lunatic that only disaster comes of listening to. It makes me think of Alice in Wonderland and the Cheshire Cat. We are all mad here, with that big Cheshire Cat grin. And Alice asking the Cheshire Cat which way she ought to go. And he answers, well, that all depends on where you want to get to. Alice says, I'm not sure. And he answers, well then, it doesn't matter which path you take. A Course in Miracles wants to lead us out of all of the seemingly infinite number of paths that lead nowhere to the one path that leads back home to oneness and to heaven. Instead of going down the rabbit hole, a phrase that embraces this idea of infinite complexity, getting more and more complex, more and more insane, going back to the oneness, the unraveling of all that complexity and insanity, to peace and quietness and gentleness and kindness and understanding. So, dear listener, happy practicing.